This story happened from a long time ago, and it is considered one of the most widespread horror stories of the Jinn Mountain among the people of the villages who live around the mountain. And this story is about a virgin girl who was living around the mountain, and while she was filling the water, the presence of a ring that was incomparable with others of its beauty caught her attention. The girl tried to reach it to win possession of it, but as soon as she caught it, something grabbed her and toppled her into the water, and she disappeared from her distance from all sight. After my father died, I went home to visit my mother. I knew I was alone in the house, but I heard voices upstairs. My father was in his room. He got up from the computer chair, walked to the door, and opened it. After opening the door, he walked down the stairs, stopped for a few seconds on his last step, and then returned to his room and closed the door. I was probably 5 meters away from him, and I froze. My father was afraid of me. In one of the forests, a girl named Jessie was wandering. Jessie loved forests, forest plants, landscapes, and loved to explore. On her way, Jessie found an exotic plant for the first time, and despite her exploratory trips in many forests, this plant was very beautiful. And when Jessie approached her, she smelled its beautiful smell, which prompted her to inhale more of its beautiful smell. But for a while, Jessie found that the forest became very dark, even though it was midday. Jessie also noticed that the trees of the forest became denser and curled up on top of each other. Jessie felt a chill running through her body and felt a little scared. And suddenly, she heard a strange sound around her, which was the sound of feet and the sound of strange grunts. Jessie got scared this time, and the horror caught up with her, and she fell unconscious. Jessie got up to find herself tied to sticks with tightly tied ropes and surrounded by half-naked people of strange shapes who were doing some strange rituals. Jessie looked around and saw a strange woman with animal teeth in various places on her body, reading and muttering very strange words. Suddenly, this woman approached Jessie, put red liquid on her head, and continued to mutter unintelligible words. Jessie couldn't scream or move, and was just watching what was happening to her. Suddenly, the woman took out a knife and cut Jessie's chest with it, took out her heart and chewed it. Jessie was shocked by what she saw, but she noticed something strange. Even though the woman removed her heart with the rest of her internal organs, Jessie still saw and watched what the woman was doing to her. After removing her internal organs, they cut up Jessie, put her in a large pot, cooked her, and made all the tribe members eat from her. The strange thing is that Jessie, one way or another, still sees what they are doing to her even after eating her. After a while, Jessie woke up to find herself in her place, next to the plant that she was smelling. And Jessie said that this plant made her unconscious, and she was dreaming. Jessie was very happy that all this horror was just a dream, and decided to take the plant with her and search for it on the internet. When Jessie searched for the plant, she found a group of legends around it, meaning that the forest dwellers and savages used to eat human flesh, and if the people of the dead were able to obtain a part of it, they would burn it and make compost soil from it to grow a particular flower. And the strange thing was that whoever smelled this scent, all Zara, was seeing the memories of this dead person. This story was the strangest thing that happened to Jessie in her entire life. The story is very strange and exciting, but it really happened on the 3rd of September 1950, although the railway line between Antwerp and Brussels is crowded with diversions and intersections, and hundreds of people and workers. But what happened was very strange. The story began at 6:30 in the morning of that day. The driver came to work, feverish and pale in the face. He told his colleague that he had spent the night awake because of the high temperature, and he came to work despite his family's objection to him leaving the house. He refused, saying, "My condition will improve a little later." And after drinking a cup of coffee and resting, he felt better and entered the cabin at 8:15 and headed by train to Brussels. On the same line, another train was 5 minutes ahead of him, and another train 5 minutes ahead of him. After, on the same timeline, one of the train passengers said, "After the train moved for 5 minutes, we noticed that it was going slowly and then going fast, but the trip was very normal until the end. When the train approached the first stop in Plainsflower, the train slowed down in response to the warning signal. As one of the officers said, the train stopped in the right place. The driver lowered his head and was busy following the driving device in front of him. And here the shunt operator stood in his own cabin, amazed, not believing what he saw. The train passed in front of him, and the driver's compartment was empty. Hurry up and call the next shunt on the line, saying, "There is something very strange. The 8:10 train has no driver." The man gave the next detour a signal to slow down the oncoming train, taking care to look closely at the driver's compartment as he discovered a major disaster. The train was running without a driver. The train was approaching Vermeulen Station, the former Brussels station. So the central control department asked the supervisor of Vermeulen Station to check with the train driver that everything was in order. The station supervisor gave a signal to stop the train, and when its movement calmed down, he walked on the platform until he reached the driver's compartment. And there was a surprise. The 30-year-old driver was lying on the dashboard with his arm hanging down. Soon, a doctor brought the station, who told them that the man had been dead for more than an hour. The train had entered the station 5 minutes earlier, in response to the station manager. Forensic medicine confirmed the words of the doctor at the station. No one knows how a passing electric train passes various signs and diversions, slows down its speed when entering stations, and without a driver. The train driver died while driving. However, the train continued its journey in a normal way. Did the ghost of the driver continue to drive and protect the lives of hundreds of innocent people boarding the train? No one knows. He has remained a mystery until today. It has no scientific explanation, not even a logical one, and horror has many faces.